Hey guys, what's going on? Welcome to another video and hope you guys are doing well today. Now, before we get into anything else, I want to say thank you to Scott for giving me his footage. I'm still at my dad and his partner's house and trying to record and everything has just been a nightmare. So it's been a little bit difficult, but we are making it work. Now, last night we went in, did a couple more hours of Heroic Beta Prog. Again, all of this was done in pre-raid BIS gear. And we went into Omnotron as the first boss that we wanted to attempt. Now, I went to Omnotron because it is an unlock boss for things like Chimaeron and Atramedes, which are significantly easier than Omnotron in my opinion, and give massive like early heroic drops. So, yeah, in terms of our Omnotron progression, we started off with 3 healers just to try and get through the fight and see the mechanics and learn each thing. And I think the best way to progress this fight is treat each individual robot as its own boss. Okay, I mean, each of them have 2 or 3 different mechanics, and you have to learn the combinations of mechanics, like Magmatron and Electron. Magmatron wants you to stack up and heal through the array damage. Electron wants you to spread, things like that. So, yeah, I think it's easier to just kind of focus on one robot at a time, learn all the mechanics, move to the next ones. The biggest stopping points for us was the kicks on Arcanotron, which once I went to my Ellie Chamois, I just had a stock cast at focus macro kick for Arcanotron, and it made life much easier. The ads on Toxitron were a little bit of a pain as well. We weren't sure of the interactions because they seem to be just blowing up when touching people, which is not how they should work. But generally, yeah, once we got past those 2 things, we were getting the kicks down and we were getting the ads killed. It was much easier. So I know that Scott, once he realised he wasn't being fixated, could switch and help kill the ads and was absolutely decimating them, which really does make a difference when, the melees aren't getting hit or focused by those mechanics. But overall, I mean, I think we did 6 or 7 pulls, maybe a little bit more, but for some people that hadn't ever seen this fight and one of the harder heroic bosses of the phase, I'm really impressed by how quickly we got this killed. You can see on the DPS meter, your boy on the Ellie Chamois is kind of pumping right now. This is a very nice Ellie fight, by the way. I am heading home today, so hopefully the next lot of beta testing will be at my actual setup, and I'll be able to give you some shaman footage or some shaman point of view. But yeah, generally, I mean, the fight it was actually a really clean kill when we killed it. You can see no one's really low health. The healers have still got a good amount of mana. And it really wasn't that difficult to push through. Things like the flamethrower, we just had the person who was targeted stand still. And yeah, generally the 2 main things was the kicks and the ads. Once we got through them, we were happy. Tank does die there just because he got 2 ads. There was a little bit of a bug at the moment that they're not deactivating in time. But yeah, Tank took 2 hits from both of them being enraged and it hurt. You can see Scott's kind of skipping through some footage now to get to Chimaeron for me. I'm not going to edit it out. You know what? I'm lazy. But yeah, Chimaeron then, the only part of this fight that I was concerned about, our healers in this group are absolutely monsters. They are very good players. And I wasn't concerned about our healing at all. Now, both of the tanks in here don't have much experience when it comes to Cataclysm Heroic, tier 11. So it took a little while for us to get kind of the break double attack synchronization down. We ended up going for a strategy where we used break on one tank took all of the break stacks, the other tank took everything else, melee attacks and double attacks, and it made it much more manageable. We did have issues with things like DBM and WeCore actually being slightly off, so we couldn't always get them, but generally we made it work. So the changes on this on Heroic is every now and again he's going to massacre, which he does always, but he's going to proc a feud where he will, knock the bot offline and you just have to try and heal through it. During this as well, on Heroic, he will actually attack the tank still, which he doesn't do on normal. So it makes it quite a tank-intense fight. You can see our tank just died there, he just fell over, which can happen. We do manage to get a recovery on him in a second, which, is pretty nice. I'm really happy with how we recovered this fight. The biggest part of this fight then is at 20% health, he is going to basically remove all healing from the raid, right? He reduces healing by 99%. and it becomes a burn phase. So you want to top people up as much as you can and just bloodlust full send it. We actually did try a couple of these where we were bloodlusting on pull, and I think once we get like a week or two's worth of gear, that is definitely what we're going to be doing. We're just going to be bloodlusting on pull and full sending it, and it's going to die in 2 minutes. But at the moment, we don't quite have that we can skip the second feud. So rather than risk it and cause ourselves issues, you can see here he's just procced a feud, but actually really close to that 20% marker. So I'm just telling people, right, let's proc it, but let's get everyone full health. Tank does die, and it's actually the double attack tank that does die. So we'll have to be really careful here that the druid just doesn't fall over. You can see he gets hit really, really hard with the double attack, and then just takes no more damage for the rest of the fight. Like, I've no idea. I mean, you can see once we prop that bloodlust, he just falls over, and yeah, nice easy kill as well. It wasn't necessarily clean, but it'll get cleaner with a bit of gear as well. And then finally, the third boss that we progged last night was Atramedes, which, as you can see, we had a couple of wipes too. But we had a really, really good pull on this, and it was... We tried a different strategy. So the strategy I always remember doing, and I remember doing it because of private servers, there was dampening and things like that. But the strategy I always remember is you do it mechanically properly, right? You only use gongs for things like searing flames, for interrupting the air phase, for, you know, the really like resetting sound if you absolutely have to. We actually tried a strategy where we just full sent, and we like use 2 gongs on pull, 1 gong on the first breath, 1 gong on the searing flame. So we used a lot of our gongs early on and just full nuked the boss. And you can see that like the health, his health is just disappearing. Now, the biggest change on this on Heroic is everything hits harder, everything gives more sound. The fire in the air phase does move quicker, so something to be aware of. And the fact then that there are ants that spawn that need to be kicked and killed because they give 10 sound per tick to the person they jump on the back of. So quite annoying, but something that is important to note. You can see Scott here is actually doing the mechanic where he runs away with the thing. We were using Pally specifically so they could run away and bubble, so we didn't have to use another gong. 40% health or 38% health on the boss with 1 gong left. We're specifically going to use that gong for Searing Flame. But we were actually in a really, really good position here. And spoilers, we don't actually get the kill. We have a 0% wipe. And it was just because of a little bit of miscommunication, you know, a couple of issues, no professions, things like that. Generally, I think we are 1 pull away from killing this boss. It was getting late and we had another pull afterwards and people were just getting tired and messing things up. So, like, I played particularly bad on this boss. I believe I died as well. Me being alive literally would have just been the difference between us getting the kill. Without trying to sound egotistical, it just is the case. So yeah, I mean, and I died to something just stupid because I was trying to raid lead and I wasn't actually looking at my own character. I'm not too proud to admit it. Ultimately, it was a mistake that probably cost us the kill. In fact, it definitely cost us the kill. But yeah, generally, like, this is the tactic we're going to be using. You can see just how clean it actually is. If you get the second air phase, it's probably rip. But somehow we managed to get through this. I mean, we do have a Feral Druid who was able to just pick up the boss and tank. And the beam went on the original tank. So probably not the worst thing to lose. We did try and just burn the boss, see if we could get through the mechanics. But yeah, I mean, I genuinely think that we are one clean pull away from just killing this boss. But yeah, so that's how our progression went last night. We are going again tonight for a couple of bosses. Our plan tonight is Maloriac, Conclave, and Dragons. So yeah, hopefully we'll get a video for that in the next couple of in the next day or so. Thank you for watching. More videos coming soon. Peace.